If you're a founder in deep tech, I'm sure you've heard this 1,000 times. Just build it first, then come get the funding. But what if you can't? What if your idea is just too big for that? Well, today we are diving into a totally different playbook, based on insights from Tron VC, on how to raise that first check when your product is still just an idea on a whiteboard. You know, this exact thought is why so many brilliant, world-changing ideas just die on the vine. That whole build it first mantra, it's fine for simple apps, sure. But for those of you in the trenches of deep tech, working on crazy complex AI or robotics or new hardware, it's a total non-starter. You can't just build the future in your garage without some resources. So, if you're one of those founders who can't just code a solution over a weekend, then this explainer is for you. We're going to show you how to pitch your insight, your vision, and your unique, defensible advantage, not just a product that doesn't exist yet. Okay, let's dive right in. In this first section, we are going to completely take apart this myth that you need a finished product to get that first check. Because, let me tell you, the best pre-seed investors, they operate on a totally different wavelength. Here's the most important thing to get. At this super early stage, the investment isn't really in a piece of software. It's a bet on the founder. It's a bet on you. They are investing in the way you think, the rigor of your problem solving, and the clarity of your vision long before anything is actually built. So, if a polished demo isn't the goal, then what is? What should you be focused on? Well, let's talk about the signals that investors are really listening for and how you can build a whole new kind of pitch around them. You see, smart investors are basically detectives. They're hunting for signals. These are all the little clues in your story that prove you've thought deeply about the problem, that the timing is perfect, and that your approach has this unique, defensible edge that's going to let you win. This slide just captures the mental shift you need to make perfectly. You have to stop pitching features and mock-ups. Just stop. Instead, you've got to focus on what actually matters to them, your unique insight, your defensible moat, and your long-term strategy. The way you think has to be way more compelling than any demo could ever be. Okay, so how do you actually do this? How do you put this into a pitch that really works? We've broken it all down into a super clear 3-part playbook that shifts the entire conversation away from what you've built to what you know. And just look at the order of this framework. Notice what's missing? It doesn't start with your amazing solution. No, it starts with the core fundamentals that convince an investor that this company absolutely has to exist. Let's break down each step. First things first, you have to make the problem feel completely and utterly unavoidable. Don't start with some giant, boring market size number. No, start with the acute, sharp pain. You need to describe the friction so well that the investor in the room can actually feel the urgency and thinks, wow, this is a must fix, not just a nice to have. Next up, you've got to build a moat around your idea. And what's a moat? It's a defensible advantage that makes it really hard for anyone else to just come along and copy you. This could be a patent, a totally unique algorithm, or an insight that no one else has. A strong moat is what gives investors the confidence to bet on you for the long haul. And finally, the big one. You have to answer the question, why you? Your personal story, your unique experience, that is your earliest form of currency. You have to connect the dots for the investor. Show them exactly how your specific background gives you an angle, an insight that literally nobody else has. All right, so even without a product, you still have to show investors that you're not just standing still, that you're actually making progress. So let's talk about how to build that trust and show real momentum. And hey, traction doesn't always mean revenue, right? It can look like this. Getting a really respected advisor on board, securing letters of intent from future customers, or maybe getting deep technical validation from an expert in the field. All of these things are powerful signals that the problem is real and your solution is already hitting the mark. So the key takeaway here is to sell your insight, not a pretty interface. Walk investors through your blueprints. Show them the system architecture, your deep research, your structured plans. You want to make them feel like they're joining something that is already in motion, like they're getting in on a really well-architected plan before anyone else in the world. Now, this brings us to what might just be the single most powerful tool in your pre-product arsenal. It's all about how you take a fleeting idea and you turn it into a concrete, defensible asset that an investor can actually grab onto. Right now, you might feel like all you have is just an idea. And look, ideas are valuable, for sure, but they're also kind of vulnerable, right? They're easy to dismiss, they're everywhere. But with one single strategic move, like filing a provisional patent, you fundamentally change the entire conversation. Suddenly, that idea, isn't just a thought floating in the air anymore. It's a tangible, IP-backed asset. It's something real that they can see. And this part is so, so key. Filing for IP isn't just about legal protection way down the road. It's about positioning yourself today. It signals to investors that you're serious, that you understand how to build long-term value, and that you're building a real moat from day one. It's what moves you from just being another interesting pitch to being a truly investable company. So if you only take one thing away from all of this, let it be this quote right here. Being pre-product is not an excuse for being pre-prepared. You can and you absolutely should be making strategic moves that build real defensible value from the very beginning. You see, the best founders, they build leverage before they ever build a product. They raise their first round of capital based on what they know and what they can defend. So I'll just leave you with this question. What's the one asset you can go out and lock in this week that will make your new venture not just interesting, but completely undeniable?